After all the approvals have been given for the design estimate and all the funding sources have been provided, we're now ready to begin the actual design process. Now, if you'll remember, as a coordinator, we marked that this project required an outside design as well as space allocation. So there are two components here that are going into this design. So this is reflected by the two different areas we have in the designer section. So you can see that both the design and space allocation are noting that there's some attention needed. Let's begin with the design queue. So here you can see that we have our project, and we can come in here, and the form for the designer is very simple. We can look at the project details at the top, which we've seen before. We can provide some design notes, and we can add some attachments. So let's go ahead and bring in some attachments. So for example, we may want to upload a drawing. We can also do things like upload, for example, PDFs. And so once that information has been submitted, then we can just enter some design notes here and move on. So after entering our comments, we can come to the bottom of the form, and you see that we have two different buttons here. If we intend to come back and add documentation later, perhaps we've only got a part of the documentation right now, we can mark not yet complete, but in this case we're going to go ahead and say that our design is complete. After marking that, it will drop out of the design queue, and if we return to the dashboard, you'll see that the design queue no longer needs attention. However, space allocation still does need our attention. So very similar to the design process, right now the only requirements are a little bit of notes and documents if needed. So let's go ahead and we will upload some space allocation documents. In this case, a PDF. And we will also include some space allocation notes. As with the design form, you'll see that down here at the bottom, we can continue to add documentation later if we so desire by checking the not yet complete. However, in this case, we will go ahead and say that our space allocation is complete. And you'll see that as we return to our list, there is nothing left in the queue. And when we return to the dashboard, you'll see that we are now ready to move on to the next phase, which is the design approval phase.